Hey guys, so today I'm going to talk to you about two short stories that I've read, or sort of novelettes. They're under 100 pages. They're both science fiction, but they're both very different in terms of their authors and the way that they came into being. So neither of them have covers, according to my Nook. So I'm just going to tell you about them. The first one was a modern story, and it's called Wool by Hugh Howey. And this is a really interesting story about how this book came about. Hugh Howey worked as a yacht captain for many years when he was young, and then he met his wife, and she convinced him to settle down, and you know the story. And then he was sort of inspired since now he was stuck on land all the time, he's inspired to write some of the stories that he'd thought of. And this book, Wool, which I'm going to be talking about, he self-published it, and just through word of mouth, it got incredibly popular. So he was inspired to write more stories in the same world that Wool takes place in. And Wool and the resulting stories, which I'm pretty sure he calls the Wool Omnibus, have been optioned by Ridley Scott for a movie, so that's pretty exciting. And I'm also going to talk about Ridley Scott a little bit later, so it sort of ties these two things together. So I don't want to give too much away on the book since it's only 84 pages. I feel like anything that I say is going to sort of be a spoiler because everything happens so quickly. But basically, if you're familiar with it. It's the future and the world is too dangerous, it's too toxic for people to go outside and live outside. So it's not really clear in this book if there are any more people, but the people we know live in the huge underground bunker. And obviously, there are some people that, in any society, that don't want to live in the bunker anymore. They want to go outside. They don't believe that it's exactly how they're saying it is outside. So they're given a very simple punishment, and they get to go outside like they want to. So yeah, that's their punishment. And so it's very interesting. This is such a powerful book. I mean, at all 84 pages, I was like, my heart was beating really fast, and just into the very end, it was really emotional and really tugged at your heartstrings. So I thought that was really great, and it sort of also echoes feelings that I felt for the other story that I'm going to talk to you about. So Wool, very easy, very powerful, great science fiction-y type story, and I would definitely suggest reading it. It's only 84 pages, take you just a few hours to read it, and if you really like it, you can read it all the other Wool books that have come out since. Next story I'm going to talk about is a little bit older. It came out in 1936, and this is At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. Lovecraft was a horror and science fiction writer in that time period, and he wasn't very popular when he was alive. Sort of people compare him to Edgar Allan Poe in that he wasn't very popular when he was alive, but now, of course, since his death, he's been incredibly influential on lots of different genres and books and movies and all things like that. Lovecraft's guiding principle in his science fiction, and definitely super important in this particular story that I'm talking about, is the idea of cosmic horror, which is that the ideas of the universe and life are just too complicated and too over humans' heads. We could never understand what's going on. We'll never be able to understand why we're here or the complexities of everything like that. And keep in mind, this was in the 30s, so there's a lot of things that he thinks we'll never be able to understand, which we kind of do understand. But I mean, if you're being honest, we still don't really know the answers to these questions. So, and he likes to kind of come up with an alternative species that is smarter than the humans that understands all of these things. So, At the Mountains of Madness, like I said, published in 1936. And if you have seen the movie Prometheus, which is directed by Ridley Scott, you'll definitely hear some echoes going on. It's been mentioned a lot of times that Prometheus was heavily influenced by At the Mountains of Madness. So in Prometheus, they go to a distant planet to go find the origins of life, but in the Mountains of Madness, this is just the 30s that we haven't even explored Earth much yet, and they go to Antarctica, and it's totally unexplored for anyone. And only a few people have been there, and they're going to use planes and the most sophisticated technology of the time to study it and see what's happening there. And basically, a lot of mysterious things happen, and they kind of realize that they're not alone there. And let me tell you, this is also a very powerful story. I totally give H.P. Lovecraft his horror chops. I've never been so scared reading a book. I don't even know what it was. I read it at night, and I'm usually totally fine. I watch scary movies, I'm fine, but I was just scared the entire time reading it. And I think his descriptions of the the places and, the things that they encounter are definitely, they contribute to your imagination. If your imagination's running wild, you're going to be terrified. And I was terrified all the way up until the very end. I was investigating, noises that were happening in my house. I was just so scared. So if you're ready to be scared, if you want to read a book that's going to scare the pants off of you, I would definitely read this book. So H.P. Lovecraft, definitely a master of the horror genre, and I'm definitely going to be reading more of his books in the future. There you go, 2 quick reviews of 2 quick little books. They're great reads if you are interested in science fiction or anything like that. Even if you don't think you're very interested in science fiction, they're under 100 pages. Why don't you give one of them a try and come back to me and see if you like them. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!